Good afternoon, race fans, and welcome here to race number 22 of the 2025 edition of the WRA Oreo Cup Series. Time for the running of the Overton 427 laps about to be run here today at the Chicagoland Speedway. On the pole position is Brooke Paquette in the number 54 machine. Brooke Paquette comes into this race in the points, second in points, still looking for her first win on the season. Skylar Taylor alongside of her. Skylar Taylor dropped a spot down to 21st position in the points. William Ayers in row number 2, 26 in the points, still looking for his first win on the season. And he is alongside of S Askraov, who is also still looking for her first win on the season. Shyla is 8th in the points, dropping 5 spots after last week's race at Gateway. We'll show you the rest of the starting lineup over here. And let's get these cars moving along. You already saw the 6 drivers that raced their way into today's race via the Go Home session. Sean Art is the points leader, and of course he was on that cursive number. As we'll get to Brooke Paquette. Has a 9-point lead over Brooke Paquette, our rookie points leader, I forgot to mention. She has a 15-point lead over Annie Crenshaw, third in the Rookie of the Year standings. Quinton Moore is fourth in the standings. William Davis is fifth. Nathan Fryman is sixth. Bradley Reim, seventh. Shyla Askraov, eighth, which I forgot to give Bradley Reim an R, so I'm going to do that right now. K Wascher is ninth, and D Ebrahimian completes the top 10. Josh Harmon, with his good result last week, jumped up to that critical 30th position in the points, meaning his 2 wins will count for a spot into the playoffs. The thing for him, he needs a good run to get away from that 30th position in the points if he wants to make this season's chase for the championship, which after this, we only have 4 more races left to go after today's race. Green flag is in the air. The Overton 400 is underway. Everybody took the green flag without any issues, so that is good news. William Ayers going to take the race lead. He has really had a struggling season, that number 9 Napa machine. The track has completely changed since Go or Go Home qualifying this morning. It was overcast, nice and cool, and now the sun came out. It's now hot and slick. William Ayers trying to get into the playoffs in the 9 machine. Second is Kyler Anderson, our Red Bull GT Series champion. Kyler's still looking for his first win on the season. 23rd in the points is where the 51's situated. Of course, his teammate Eric Stanbury comes into this race 11th in points, so he has already assured himself a spot into the playoffs. There's Brooke Paquette dropped down to 3rd. Ashlyn Wright, who raced her way into today's race via the Go or Go Home session this morning, was the fastest. Had a very good qualifying. Of course, they do qualifying after the Go or Go Home session is done. Currently running in the 4th position. Great run for Ashlyn Wright, a driver who will be going full-time in this series next season. Dylan Ebrahimian completes your top 5. Check the rear of the field here. This is Kyle Langland's home race. Of course, he failed to qualify. Cody Smart, Bradley Reim back here at the rear of the field. And so is our points leader, Sean Art. Reim's 7th in points. Cody is 14th, and the points dropped 5 spots after last week's race. Marinelli Dillion in the 71, also back there at the rear of the field. Dillion 22nd in the points. She was a total of 53 points ahead of the 30th position in the points cut line, which is occupied by Josh Harmon. And where is Josh Harmon? Running in the 10th position. This is where he needs to be. Gene Evans running in 7th. He's another go-or-go homer that raced his way in. Josh Harmon knows he needs a good run today to get himself away from 30th position in the points cut line if he wants to make this season's chase for the championship. And let's see, we have, looking at my list, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12 drivers that have wins that are inside the top 30 in the points. The 4 that would get in on points, Sean Art, Brooke Paquette, Annie Crenshaw, and William Davis would have the final transfer spot. 2, 3, 7, 8, 9. No, correction, 13 drivers. Annie Crenshaw would be on the bubble, not William Davis. That's why I was recounting that. So 13 drivers. But remember, if the 77 drops out of the top 30 in the points, or if we get a new winner, that's not good for the drivers that are in the top 5 in the points. They would be out and could be heading into the last 4 races of the regular season in a must-win situation. As Kyler Anderson takes the lead. And we could have a very weird situation that both Rick Ware racing cars could make the chase for the championship this season. That would be very weird. And here's the unlucky part. All 3, well, excluding Cody Smart, the only Penske car in the playoffs. The car that won last year's Cup Series championship, the 2024 Cup Series championship, it could miss the playoffs. That would be wild if Rick Ware Racing gets both of their entries in the chase for the championship. Let me take a quick commercial break because I need to go find my White Sox. I will be right back after these messages and a word from our Blue Hedgehog stations. Welcome back, everybody. You didn't miss anything other than Ashlyn Wright's been all over the back of the Walmart Ford Mustang Dark Horse out of Rick Ware Racing. So you haven't missed much of this race. Right now I'm putting on my new socks I got from the December holiday last year. Can you believe Rick Ware Racing could possibly get both of their entries into the playoffs? Which, that would be number one, a bra moment. The socks I put on were the boot, was the is the boo. Not the boo as in the October holiday boo. I'm talking about the boo that's off of Super Mario Brothers from the Ghost House. That's what I just put on my feet. And they feel comfy, so I'm probably going to leave them on. As I got Mario, Luigi, Toad, Yoshi, Donkey Kong, and of course these boo socks that I'm wearing. Now my feet feel nice and warm again. Now, Ashlyn Wright, even if she wins this race, it's not going to make a difference for her because she would not make the top 30 in the points, even though she's missed too many races. So it's like, what difference does that make for her? It would, however, get her in the next season's All-Star race because she's already announced, along with her sister Tatum, that they would go full-time next season. And remember, Ashlyn Wright recently turned 18 last year during the off-season. As Kyler just ran up a little high, Ashlyn Wright had a run, but just can't get around the Walmart Ford Mustang Dark Horse. William Davis, speaking of William, he's at the rear of the field and dead last. Of course, time is running out for drivers that are full-time drivers that don't have wins to get a win to make sure they're in the top 30 in the points. And like I said, Kyler Anderson, 23rd in the points. He's only led 4 laps this season prior to today. And it's really weird that Rickware Racing, who is not necessarily a backmark, well, they have been a backmarker team for most of their Cup existence in the NASCAR Cup Series existence. But they have not been a backmarker team ever since we've gone to the next gen car back in 2022 when it made its debut. And of course, Kyler Anderson trying to get his first career win. And how would it be for Kyler Anderson to do it here at Chicagoland? Remember, earlier this year, we started the 2025 racing season at, ironically, Chicagoland Speedway. That was for the Red Bull GT series. And you saw Kyler Anderson be so consistent in that series, he ended up going on to win the championship, which Addison Peterson gave the defending series championship title over to Kyler Anderson. Addison Peterson, by the way, will be running full-time in the Oreo Cup Series next season. So Kyler Anderson, who he's been inside the top 30 in points all season, that 51 team. He's been consistent, just hasn't had the chance to get to capitalize and go to victory lane, as William Ayers is going by Ashlyn Wright. So, but Kyler's been really just trying to get comfortable. You know, of course, he's teammates with Eric Stanbury. Eric Stanbury went to victory lane twice. And, of course, Eric Stanbury is so high enough in points, I don't think he will fall outside the top 30 in points, barring anything happens between now and then. But Kyler Anderson has really done a good job so far. Even though he may be 23rd in the points, not only could he get himself in the top 20, he could possibly find himself into the playoffs, knowing that a win, he already has a win, and it's off his shoulders. If we're coming to the white flag, and the guy who's trying to catch him is D Ebrahimian, the question is, will he have time to catch him? As there's the last lap of the race. But the caution is out. The caution is out. Kyler Anderson's going to win the Overton 400 at Chicagoland. Dylan Ebrahimian had a chance to possibly win, but the yellow flag saves Kyler Anderson, which means Rickware Racing might have both cars into this season's Oreo Cup Series chase for the championship. We'll look at a replay of who brought out the yellow but the yellow and checkers are out. Kyler Anderson is going to win at Chicagoland. How many of you predicted Rick Ware Racing getting both cars into the playoffs? Before we show you your finishing results, let's go back and see what caused the accident on the back straightaway to end this race one lap early. Well, we now found the three culprits that brought out this caution. William Davis, Eric Sadler, and Courtney Lynn. All three of them went spinning. There's the contact there from Sadler in the Lynn. William Davis sent Sadler up into Courtney Lynn again, and all three go spinning. William Davis was top 5 in the points. This is going to be a huge blow for him. Courtney Lynn, 12th in points. This is not going to help her situation at all. She's going to be more than likely in a must-win situation. And Eric Sadler, who is dead last in points of the full-time chartered entries, he did not need this at all. So the caution's out for the first time today. Let's take you to your official finish results here at Chicagoland. And we're back for your official finisher results. Dylan Ebrahimian, we mentioned, will get second. William Ayers third. How about Ashlyn Wright? Raced her way into today's race via the go-or-go-homer. She and Jean Evans gets fourth and fifth. Great run for those two drivers. Shyla Askraov will get sixth. Annika Ritchie didn't talk much about her getting seventh. Josh Harmon, that is a well-needed run for a driver who came into this race in that critical 30th position in the points. An 8th place result for him. That will get him away from 30th in the standings. Jarrett Johnson, 9th, and K Wascher, our winner from New Zealand, will complete the top 10. Good run for Isaac Willis in 11th. Brooke Paquette, Skylar Taylor, Eric Stanbury, and N Fryman complete your top 15. Reminder, Brooke Paquette came in this race second in points. The guy she was trying to run down for the points lead, Sean Art, came home in 18th. And they were only separated by 9 points. Paquette finished in 12th, which meant Sean would have had to have finished 22nd or worse. He only finished 18th, so that's 6 points. So looks like Sean is more than likely going to keep the points lead. N Crenshaw, 21st. She was third in the points table. As you look on down to the remainder of the finishing results, all 42 drivers did finish the race on the lead lap. Cody Smart, 2 weeks in a row. Bradley Ream, bad run for him. Reggie Fogelman, 35th. Let's see, where's Fogelman? 19th. Boy, he's going to be getting closer to that 30th position, the points cut line. Marinelli Dillion, 31st. Dillion was a total of, I believe, 50 points ahead of 30th in the position of the points cut line. This is not going to help her situation, so she's going to be a really nervous wreck. And then Courtney Lynn, Eric Sadler, and William Davis, 40th, 41st, and 42nd after bringing out the only yellow of today's race. But that's going to do it from Chicagoland. Congratulations to Kyler Anderson on the win. If you guys enjoyed today's race from Chicagoland, be sure to give this video a like, subscribe to become part of the World Racing Association crew today, which this copyrighted broadcast is presented by the authority of the World Racing Association for the private use of our audience. Any reproduction or rebroadcast or retransmission or any other disseminations or the use of this broadcast, descriptions, or accounts of this race without the express written consent of the World Racing Association is prohibited. World Racing Association want to thank you fans for your support of this race, and we hope you enjoyed today's broadcast, which we've shown you your full finisher results. Your point standings will be down in the description heading into next week's race at Papyrus. Until then, I'm D Ebrahimian R signing off as you've been watching another broadcast of the World Racing Association, the greatest racing since 2013. Goodbye from Chicagoland, everybody.